Good day, everyone. I'm sat here in my autumnal corner that we decorated last time, having some tea, and I had every intention of doing our bittersweet wreath today, as it is, or could be, Floral Friday. I was going to put one here and over there. And then I thought, well, I have so many other things to do because I want to do some things for the boathouse, and I want to share some of the boathouse colors today. Decisions on the colors, I should say. So then I thought, well, why don't I just magic up the bittersweet wreaths, and then I won't have to worry about making them. And so I had every intention of just magicking up some bittersweet wreaths for here and there. But sometimes I think I'm more Aunt Clara than I am Samantha, because every time I try, I get this, or I get this. And as you can see, I must have Christmas on my mind. So, well, I guess we'll just have to make bittersweet wreaths the old-fashioned way. I can't resist. We have to do magic when it's October. But instead, I think today we're going to be doing, as I don't have much time before I post this vlog, which you're watching it on Friday, so I was able to work a little bit more on my painting I'm going to share, and I wanted to go out to the boathouse and show you some decisions about where I think I'm going to place some colors. Well, let's get rid of our tea and head on out to the boathouse, and I'll show you some color decisions. All right, let's magic our way out there. Well, here we are out in the boathouse, and I'm not going to be showing a lot today, but I'm standing next to dear Bessie, who still doesn't have her top mounted yet because I want to wait until we get her properly installed and give her a proper kitchen for that installation. But what I wanted to show today is I had our colors hanging up, and what I think I've come to for a decision is, first of all, I've decided this is the Dragonfly color that we used, and I definitely think that this color is going to be beautiful on this wall. And I'm thinking of possibly bringing a chair rail up. I guess it technically wouldn't be a chair rail, but a higher bit of trim to here, and then my wallpaper will be here, probably in the more vibrant green background, with this lovely shade of Dragonfly here. And I've decided with the Dragonfly, the Parma Gray that I really love, I think I want to, obviously I'm going to prime and do all this properly, but I think if this trim is painted this Parma Gray, which obviously I'm doing this wet, but you know what, it's probably not going to show up as well as if I just took a bit of dried Parma Gray, like, for example, our little piece of furniture, if that is the trim. So now if we picture this color here, behind Bessie, and then this lovely color of trim next to it, wouldn't that be lovely? And then above that will be our wallpaper with the pretty green background with the rabbits and the bittersweet. And I'm still trying to decide on a pink. And here you can see the color of the Parma Gray next to the Dragonfly. But now let me get a little bit closer here. So look, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but if this is the wall, and then that would be the lovely trim on the windows, and then there would be a tall sort of chair rail or decorative rail on the top to divide this from the wallpaper in this lovely Parma Gray. So I'm still trying to decide on pink, so I'm going to show you my pinks. Let me just move the camera down here. Now I'm not sure how well the pinks are going to pick up, but see, maybe this is a better way to see the beautiful color of and this is in a darker, without as much sun on it. This will be the Dragonfly Walls with the lovely Parma Gray trim around the windows and on the top, separating between the wallpaper, which will be in shades of green. Okay, I moved into the sunshine, so you can see the colors a little better, but you can see now how the difference between the pink with the blue, if this were, say, a cabinet and then it had, say, pink on the inside of the open shelves, although I really particularly love the blue with the sage, which this sage color is French Gray from Farrow and Ball, and this of course is our Parma Gray from Farrow and Ball. But then look how lovely it looks with the black punch of the metal cabinets and that lovely blue. So if this blue were on a cabinet with this color, I think it's lovely. And then also if it were on this color as well. If we move this, we now get a more clear representation of the wall color with the trim, which I think that will be lovely. And then it could be at the top as well with the wallpaper above. So I'm pretty happy with these colorways. I think what we have so far is turning out to be rather lovely, and I'm pretty happy with that. All right, well, that's enough for talking about color today. I'm just having a short walk today, but unfortunately I'm going to have to buy a gimbal, I believe, because the beginning of this walk was far too shaky. So let's just go in about halfway. Let's get on with the walk. See this brick path here? It's actually left over from when their house, which sits up on a hill, they broke up their property into the various relatives as time went on, and the big main house that the family used to use had to be torn down, and they had to sell off sections to another neighbor who built a different house because as time went on and taxes were invented, many of the old families here just couldn't afford to keep their big houses with servants' quarters in, so things got torn down. But this is an old brick path that was left from the heydays when you could stroll down here in your trailing dresses to enjoy the seaside. Of course, at that point, there weren't plastic beach chairs and kayaks sitting about in bright pinks and greens. But this is just a quick short walk. And here it gets the sort of, I think this is called the herring. No, this isn't a herringbone. I forget what this pattern is called, where the bricks are laid in that pattern. Maybe someone in the comments knows. But anyways, I just thought it was a cute walk, and it comes down to this little step, which brings us back to where we were yesterday, the little dock. So yes, if you look back, we just came through that lovely little path. And I also love that tree in the center. They have a circle drive there that's used for they allow the fishermen to use the docks. In exchange for that, they have a endless supply of shellfish all summer long. So today's walk is just kind of a little tag on to my previous vlog's walk. Just another way to get to our lovely dock I love to sit on. And this is the way I'm going to walk back home. But I don't need to record this because this is the walk I shared with you yesterday. But yeah, so now as you come down this way, and we're getting back closer to our beach, I'm not sure if you can see it because it didn't really show up in last vlog. But can you see the point? Oh no, it's far too dark. I was hoping you could see the point of our boathouse jutting out, but I think the light is wrong. And here is a treasure. I love to find these. Now look at that crab. Now look at how his pincer is that way, as if he's getting ready to take a little bite. This is probably a shed crab as opposed to one that was eaten by a seabird, because it looks, although it could have eaten the middle and left the edge, although no, it is definitely a shed shell, because I think you would see the meat in the claws, and they really devour them. So I love these little fellas. He's going to come home and be a beach treasure for me. And I like to put them on my windowsills or in my bookshelves, and sometimes I make little faux taxidermies where I'll have a little glass dome and I'll put my sea treasures under it. And obviously this isn't a real taxidermy, a stuffed crab, although I love stuffed crab, but that's a different type of stuffed crab. And so that's today's treasure. So I'm going to take that, head back home, and we can get back with today's vlog. Well, thank you for going on that little walk with me. For today's artwork, we're returning to my sketch for my digital oil, and you'll recall that I had sketched it out, but now I'm going to work in one section. So I've turned on the few layers around the cat, and you'll see this is where I've begun to use digital oils to build up and paint in a more painterly style. And this is currently where we are with that. Now this, I will build up each section of the painting separately on the various layers, and then I blend them all together, and then when I'm done, the final piece will have the look of a traditional oil. Now I'm going to go back to the original sketch here with the chalk and the outline and pencil, and just for fun, when I'm drawing, I'm often coming up with storylines in my head. It's just part of how my process works, and so I just thought I would read out what I had kind of scribbled in the sidelines of my journal as I was sketching this picture out. It's just kind of like a little vignette made-up story, and I thought it would be kind of fun to share. Okay, and it's not taken from anything, it's just randomness that I sort of came up with as I was sketching it out. The Mrs. Boylston couldn't be called spinsters as such. Well, at least they'd not call themselves such, nor would anyone in the village, not to their face anyway. They considered themselves married to their home and work. Their home was not grand by any means, but sat dead center in the middle of the village. Such a house, and in such a position, made for their second line of work, keeping tabs on the village. And from its proximity between the post and the village shop, the Miss Allen, ever at her post in the window, kept tabs on the comings and goings of the village. Miss Ermyntrude, of course being the younger, had found her occupation in the reading of their father's extensive library. Far too many books for such a minuscule abode, had said the Mrs. Dalton, though not in the earshot of the Mrs. Boylston. And indeed it was an extensive library, as it had been collected up by a better-placed and far richer ancestor who squandered the family fortune on many things. However, the books were the only thing left to find their way down the next successive generations until they landed, currently well kept, spread amongst the small, well-appointed rooms of the Miss Boylston in the tiny house in the center of the village. Well, I hope you enjoyed that funny little snippet that I made up to go along with my painting. Well, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. As we have begun with magic, I suppose we might as well end, so I'll just order up some tea. It looks like I still have Christmas on the mind after all. I don't remember ordering Christmas trees with my tea. But anyway, well, thank you for joining me here again today, and I hope you have a fine weekend, and I shall join you on the chats for Lalonde, Dan's, and I shall see you on my vlog on Monday. So have a good weekend, and remember, stay creative. Cheers!